800-year-old Hindu ecosystem, the living incarnation of the modern age. If you're a Hindu, in the last 2 months, have you asked yourselves why the Indian media is so insistent on portraying both of these Hindu identities as a public enemy #1? This is a masterclass on persecution. The script is predictable, and yet we're still not waking up to it because history is repeating itself. Let's break down the playbook, shall we? Step 1. Manufacture a scandal. But here's the twist. You don't actually need a victim. Let's take the case of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam. 15 years of media trials, illegal arrests, brutal custodial torture, and yet not a single victim came forward. Zero evidence was provided. What's more, in the US, the same charges were thrown out of the courts on the grounds that they were baseless allegations. The criminals who filed the case had been fined more than $500,000 for wasting the government's time. Now fast forward to 2025, the Dharmasthala case. A sensational concocted crime story, but look closer. Where are the victims? 17 excavations done with the highest technology probes, paid for by good citizens' tax money, and yet not a single evidence was uncovered. Ask yourself, where is your hard-earned money going? You see, the point is never the crime or even the violence. The point is the headlines. Which brings me to the next step. Dehumanization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who by 2009 was already recognized and revered by the masses and the elite as an incarnation, was painted by media as a caricature and a criminal. The Indian media bombarded the public with more than 17,000 hours of hateful propaganda. Now tell me, who is brainwashing who? In 2025, the Indian media had turned the Hegde family, who are custodians of Dharma for centuries, to monsters who are protecting criminals. Who is fueling this narrative? A well-oiled nexus. Activist groups file the PILs, media amplifies their voices 24/7, and political silence is deafening while the judiciary bends under pressure. This is not about justice. This is about the delegitimization of Hindu institutions. This is about making Hindus doubt their own dharma. Ask yourself, why is it always Hindu temples? Why is it always Hindu leaders? Why are fabricated charges enough to destroy reputations overnight, and yet the evidence is conveniently ignored? Let's look at the numbers. While the media is busy painting caricatures out of our customs, what is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, or even Malaysia? Predatory proselytization is our invisible enemy. A civilization that once sprawled 56 nations all over the world is down to zero. The question is no longer if the genocide going on against Hindus is a conspiracy. The question is, why are Hindus still asleep? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is single-handedly waking up the global Hindu diaspora to the true civilizational identity. Today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa have founded the United Ancient Indigenous Enlightened Nations, an intergovernmental body that is uniting more than 160 indigenous nations so far. The United Ancient Indigenous Enlightened Nations is, simply put, ancients arising for global peace and protecting the ancient sacred traditions. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is making each and every one of us realize the true indigenous identity of our ancient Hindu kingdom. We must demand the same recognition for our generational trauma and the same global respect for our sacred traditions. And we must wake up now, before it's too late.